Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a review of Tying a Knot with an Amagami Sister, episode 15. Okay, so here's the idea. This Asahi arc has been one of those time traveling loop arc, Back to the Future vibe, Doctor Who, or maybe one of those infinite Tsukiyumi loops. The thing with time, the thing with going back in time is like Groundhog's Day, and I brought this up last week. This was more like Groundhog's Day. And if you watch the movie or have seen parodies of Groundhog's Day, you'll see the icon like be living the world, like you've been repeating the day over and over and over and over again. And you're like, how to break the cycle? And what you choices you do affect the outcome. And it might be good or bad, but it's gonna affect the outcome of your choices. And then you gotta follow the process over again. It's like a game. You ever thought like you played a save game, you saved it, then you load the game, you gotta start over again because you fucked up? That's what it is. Asahi arc, this whole loop arc, is kind of like playing a video game. You know those video games where you make those choices, and whatever choices you do affect the outcome of the game, and you make that choice good or bad, be like, you know what? No, start over. That's what this is. Like, think about the game Until Dawn. Remember that game where you have to make all the choices against the Wendigos, and you want to keep them survive, and you know you're fucked up? That kind of thing. Other games like Wolf Among Us or The Walking Dead, the Tall Tale series, it's those type of games that what choices you do could affect the outcome of the game. And to a point you're like, you know what? I think I did a bad choice. I'm gonna start over and see what I do. And that's what this is in this loophole of Asahi. So without further ado, let's get right to the review of Tied or Not with an Amagami Sister, episode 15. Okay, now Asahi and Uryu are in this huge loop. I don't even know how many loops we got in this one. I lost track. I don't know, guys. With all these loops they're going, I think they're in their 10th loop. I think they're in their 10th loop. I could be wrong. What is this, kind of a redo process? I don't know. But they have been in multiple loopholes to see what can they do to affect it. Because they keep going from last week to January to June to July 7th. They're like, something's not right within the time frame. So Ozzy and Julio are trying so hard that they decided, you know what? Let's try the route in a different way. Let's just forget about the sports festival. How about you go with your sisters? Now, Karen, she has a rivalry with Asahi, and that makes sense. I mean, their rivalry goes back way before their high school, like elementary. Like their rivalry goes that far, that far. When Asahi was first place, and Karen was second place, and she considered her as a rival. Now, we're gonna get to that later with Karen, but Asahi decides not to do the sports festival, but due to family. Family comes first. She wants to support her sisters. So she chose that route. And it had this popularity poll about who's the best, who will have a poster of the best Amagami sister. And leave it to Uryu to be the last person voting. He voted for Asahi. And Yai, is so jealous of that, calling him a playboy, especially Yai and her poutiness. I like Yai's poutiness. It is so funny. She's like, she is so jealous. Oh, God, it's funny. It is so funny. But again, she chose that path. Now, Karen, on the other hand, she went to the festival, but she had a wish of her own. You know those little shrines where they put the little sign on a paper and then they tie it on a tree, that kind of thing. So her wish was to have a friendly, fair match and win the competition with Asahi. Have a fair match with Asahi. She didn't get that wish because she was focusing on the festival. And because of that, we're now back into a time loop. It's like how what you do impact the time loop. So if you get knocked into the left, you gotta start over. If you knock on the right side, you gotta go in the time loop. If you get stuck somewhere within the time loop, knowing that you made that one mistake, you're back there. So it's like no matter what choice you do, Asahi and Uryu, they're gonna affect it. It will affect the outcome. It's all about the choices that affects the characters and why they're in that situation in the first place. So Asahi's upset. Uryu's upset that they both can't find a way to get to this loophole that's been affecting them, like this whole Groundhog Day effect, you know. And that's the whole problem with this. Like, yeah, Asahi chose this path, but it's like the premise of this episode was, what does Asahi want? What does she want? Like, what makes her happy? Yeah, she wants to win the competition. Yeah, she wants to be Karen. I mean, yeah, she wants to win the marathon. I mean, sports festival. Yeah, she wants to help out with her sisters at the sports festival. Yeah, she wants to help out her sisters at the festival. I mean, the event. But here's the lowdown. What does she want? That's the main thing with Asahi. What does she want most in life? Does she want to run or run a shrine? Does she want to be the best runner in Japan to represent Japan? Or be a shrine maiden and support the family, run the family business? What makes Asahi happy? That is the main thing that's affecting this loop. She has to decide what she wants. What she really wants. What's her real me? What's the real Asahi wants? Not the runner Asahi version. Not the shrine priestess Asahi. The real Asahi. The real gullible, trolling, youngest member of the Amagami family. Like, what does she want in life? What's her true passion? Now, here's the thing. I know people are want to ship these two, Uryu and Asahi, and I get it. It's weird. I mean, yeah, she's the youngest. Yeah, she's 14 and Uryu's 17. People think that's a 3-year difference. I'm not. Look, I don't support that ship. I know some of y'all do because of the shipping. I get it. I mean, me personally is Uryu and Yai. That's my ship. I support that, Uryu and Yai. It makes sense. But I can see why people are supporting this ship, because Uryu don't see Asahi. I mean, Uryu see Asahi completely different. That's fine. As I watch this show, I do see the shipping there, but I don't ship that. That's not my ship, because people are gonna call it whatever it is, what I'm not gonna say. But that's here or there. But again, the real premise of this episode is to stop this loop is, what does she want? That is the key to all of this happening. And Karen is going to play a big part in this episode. I don't know if she got stuck in this time loop. Maybe she did. But how you going to end the episode on a freaking Uranus? Like, how are you going to end it on a Yuri episode? A Yuri moment where Uryu just opens the door and see Karen on top of Asahi. And I'm like, yo, did we just hit the Yuri button now? Did we hit the Yuri button? I want to see this. Did we just hit the Yuri button? I think we did, because that's what happened. That's what happened. I mean, if you're gonna, that's a way to end it. The fact that you ended on a note where he not only gets nosebleed, but seeing Karen on top of Karen on top of Asahi, that tells you we're gonna see some Yuri moments. And just like next week with a preview, sorry about my TV, I turned it on. I pushed the button, my bad. But like I said, and next week is gonna be and we just got a preview where the tables have turned. Asahi's on top of Karen, so we're gonna get some Yuri moments. We're gonna get some Yuri moments. Yep, I can't wait to see where this was going. I gotta see where this is going. But overall, though, this episode was pretty good. It brought back. I love this episode because, yeah, this is an infinite loophole episode. Yeah, the choices they make interactive, but it's like one of those things where you just like Groundhog's Day effect or any other show a game you watch, that you're thinking about what affects the outcome of the characters. And Karen, being that she is going to be the central part of it, she's going to be playing a role in this time loop episode. It's just like with, you know what? I feel like these frenemies or friends or cousins, whatever, that supports the Amagami sisters play a huge part in this. Like with Yai's arc. When Yai's arc debuted, we had her friend with the glasses. I forgot her name. Oh my God. But you know what I'm talking about. It was her. in this arc with Asahi, this is focusing on Karen's arc. So now we're gonna, I'm sorry, not Karen. Karen is focusing on Asahi arc. So now we're gonna see this other side character be a part of this arc, and I can't wait to see more. Plus, with that Yuri moment, we're bound to see what's gonna happen. So I look forward for next week's episode of it, and I'm sure you will.